Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskrittam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tado Jayamudhirayet Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhāgavata-sevayā Bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devakinandanaya cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya namo namaha Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 32, Entanglement in Fruitive Activities. Let me know if you see the screen.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Kapila uvacha Atho yo graha mediyan dharman eva vasangrihe kamam artham cha dharmam swan dogdhi bhuyah pipartitan. The personality of Godhead said, the person who lives in the center of household life derives material benefits by performing religious rituals, and thereby he fulfills his desire for economic development and sense gratification. Again and again, he acts the same way. Tachapi bhagavad dharmat kama mudha paranmukha yajate kratubhir devan pitrim pitrimscha shraddhayanvitaha. Such persons are ever bereft of devotional service due to being too attached to sense gratification. And therefore, although they perform various kinds of sacrifices and take great vows to satisfy the demigods and forefathers, they are not interested in Krishna consciousness, devotional service. One sec, Adhirasa Prabhu can check if Seema Mataji can join. प्रचदया क्रान्तमतिः पितृदेवावृतः पुमान् गत्वा चान्द्रमसं लोकं सोमपाः पुनर्येष्यति. Such materialistic persons, attracted by sense gratification and devoted to the forefathers and demigods, can be elevated to the moon, where they drink an extract of the Soma plant. They again return to this planet. यदा चाहीन्द्रशय्यायं शेते अनन्तसनो हरिः तदा लोकालयः यान्ति तयेते ग्रहमेदिनाम्. All the planets of the materialistic persons, including all the heavenly planets such as the moon, are vanquished when the Supreme Personality of Godhead Hari goes to his bed of serpents, which is known as Ananta Sesha. ये स्वधर्मान् न दुह्यन्ति धीराः कामार्थहेतवे निसङ्गान्यस्त कर्माणः प्रशान्ता शुद्धचेतसः. Those who are intelligent and are of purified consciousness. Let me start. Those who are intelligent and are of purified consciousness are completely satisfied in Krishna consciousness. Freed from the modes of material nature, they do not act for sense gratification. Rather, they are situated in their own occupational duties. They act as one is expected to act. निवृत्ति धर्म निरता निर्ममा निरहंकृताः स्वधर्माप्तेन सत्वेन परिशुद्धेन चेतसा. By executing one's occupational duties, acting with detachment and without a desire, without a sense of proprietorship or false egoism, One is posted in one's constitutional position by dint of complete purification of consciousness, and by thus executing so called material duties, he can easily enter into the kingdom of God. सूर्यद्वारेण ते यान्ति पुरुषं विश्वतो मुखं परावरेशं प्रकृतिम् अस्योत्पत्ति भावनम्. Through the path of illumination, such liberated persons approach the complete personality of Godhead, who is the proprietor of material and spiritual worlds and is the supreme cause of their manifestation and dissolution. द्विपरार्धावसाने यः प्रलयो ब्रह्मणस्तु ते तावत् अध्यासते लोकं परस्य परचिन्तकाः. Worshippers of the Hiranyagarbha expansion of the personality of Godhead remain within this material world until the end of two pararthas, when Lord Brahma also dies. Shamambo, sorry, Shama, Shmambo. Shmambo nala nila viyan mana indriyartha bhutadibhi parivrata pratisanjihirshuho avyakta kritam vishati yarhi gunatrayatma kalam parakhyam anubhuya parah swayambhuho. After experiencing the habitable time of three modes of material nature, known as two pararthas, Lord Brahma closes the material universe, which is covered by the layers of earth, water, air, fire, ether, mind, ego, etc., and goes back to Godhead. एवं परेत्य भगवन्तम् अनुप्रविष्टा ये योगिनो जितमरुन्मनसो विरागाः तेनैव शाकम् अमृतं पुरुषं पुराणं ब्रह्म प्रदानम् उपयान्ति अगताभिमानाः. The yogis who become detached from the material world by practice. Um, where am I? Let me repeat it. The yogis who become detached from the material world by practice of breathing exercises and control of the mind reach the planet of Brahma, which is far, far away. After giving up their bodies, they enter into the body of Lord Brahma. Therefore, when Brahma is liberated and goes to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the Supreme Brahman, such yogis can also enter into the kingdom of God. अतः तं सर्वभूतानां हृत्पद्मेषु कृतालयं श्रुतानुभावन् शरणं व्रजभावेन भामिनि. Therefore, my dear mother, by devotional service, take direct shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is seated in everyone's heart. आद्यस्थिरचराणां यो वेदगर्भः सहस्रिषिभिः योगेश्वरैः कुमाराद्यैः सिद्धैर्योगप्रवर्तकैः भेददृष्ट्याभिमानेन निःसङ्गेनापि कर्मणा कृत्वत्वात् सगुणं ब्रह्म पुरुषं पुरुषर्षभं स संसृत्य पुनः काले कालेश्वरः मूर्तिना जाते गुणव्यतिकरे यथा पूर्वं प्रजायते ऐश्वर्यं पारमेष्ठ्यं च तेऽपि धर्मविनिर्मितं निषेव्य पुनरायान्ति गुणव्यतिकरे सति. My dear mother, someone may worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead with a special self interest, but even demigods such as Lord Brahma, great sages as Sanat Kumara, and great munis such as Marichi have to come back to the material world again at the time of creation. When the interaction of the three modes of material nature begins, Brahma, who is the creator of this cosmic manifestation and who is full of Vedic knowledge, and the great sages who are the authors of spiritual path and the yoga system come back under the influence of time factor. They are liberated by their non-fruitive activities and attain the first incarnation of the Purusha. But at the time of creation, they come back in exactly the same form and positions they previously had. ये त्वयिह शक्तमनसः कर्मसु श्रद्धयान्विताः कुर्वन्ति अप्रतिसिद्धानि नित्यानि अपि च कृष्णशः. Persons who are too addicted to this material world execute their prescribed duties very nicely and with great faith. They daily perform all such prescribed duties with attachment to the fruitful result. Rajasa kuntha manasaha कामात्मनो जितेन्द्रियाः पित्रान् यजन्ति अनुदिनं गृहेष्वा अभिरताशयाः. Such persons impelled by the mode of passion or full of anxieties and always aspire for sense gratification due to uncontrolled senses. They worship the forefathers and are busy day and night improving the economic condition of their family, social or national life. त्रैवर्गिकास्ते पुरुषा विमुखा हरिमेधसः कथायां कथनीयोरु विक्रमस्य मधुद्विषः. Such persons are called Trivargika because they are interested in the three elevating processes. They are averse to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who can give relief to the conditioned soul. They are not interested in the Supreme Personality's pastimes, which are worth hearing because of his transcendental prowess. नूनं दैवेन विहता ये चाच्युत कथा सुधां हित्वा शृण्वन्ति असद्गाताः पुरीशम् इव विद्भुजः. Such persons are condemned by the supreme order of the Lord. Because they are averse to the nectar of the activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they are compared to stool eating hogs. They give up hearing the transcendental activities of the Lord and indulge in hearing of the abominable activities of materialistic persons. दक्षिणेन पथार्यम्नः पितृलोका व्रजन्ति ते प्रजाम् अनुप्रजायन्ते श्मशानान्त क्रियाकृतः. Such materialistic persons are allowed to go to the planet called Pitraloka by the southern course of sun, but they again come back to this planet and take birth in their own families, beginning again the same fruitive activities from birth to the end of life. ततस्ते क्षीणसुकृताः पुनर्लोकम् इमं सति पतन्ति विवशा देवै सद्यो बिभ्रशिसोदया. When the results of their pious activities are exhausted, they fall down by higher arrangement and again come back to this planet, just as a person raised to a higher position sometimes all of a sudden falls. तस्मात् त्वं सर्वभावेन भजस्व परमेष्टिनं तद्गुणाश्रयया भक्त्या भजनीयः पदाम्बुजम्. My dear mother, I therefore advise that you take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, for his lotus feet are worth worshipping. Accept this with all devotion and love, for thus you can be situated in transcendental devotional service. Hare Krishna. I'll stop here that we can go through this part of the chapter little nicely. So this is in continuation. This is all coming under Sankhya philosophy, and this chapter is especially highlighting the um, the condition of a person who is addicted to the material way of living. In fact, here it says that oh, I don't have the verse. So here he says there are two kinds of householders. One is called Grahamedi and the other is called Grihastha. The objective of Grahamedi is sense gratification, and the objective of Grihastha is self realization. Self service or self realization, there are two things. These are, they don't go hand in hand. Sometimes people may think, let me do some bhakti, let me do some rakti, or bhukti or bhokti, all these things. It doesn't go. Here the Lord is speaking about the grahamedi, or the person who wants to remain in this material world. So, on the one side, if we desire to get freedom from this material world, and if we still want to be a Grahamedi who is interested in the mode of passion to satisfy his goals and objectives that he has set up for 1 year, 2 years, 10 years, lifelong, and if these desires are material desires, then he can't go. It is just like, I think recently we were giving, it's just like cycling on a treadmill. What do you call this? Cycling on, I don't know what is it called, stationary cycles, right? In the gym, we see that yeah, he may have so many miles that he can show, but actually he's still in the same place. So it's something like that one is doing, and it's called Shrema eva kevalam. Whatever activity which is not related to the Lord, and if it is done with self-interest, then it is shrema. It is just shrema. Shrema eva hi kevalam. A grihastha is a person who lives with family, wife, children, and relatives but has no attachment for them. So such persons are ever so these people who are in the mode of passion are ever bereft of devotional service. So sometimes we may come across people, why are they so much interested in all vishaya, which is interesting about what is about this matter, how things have happened, how things are coming into existence, how they are going to get annihilated. So much curiosity to know this world, and why. In fact, we think that by knowing all these things, I am um, I am well prepared to face any adversaries that may come up. Not adversaries. Adversaries is opponent. Adversities. Yeah, if they come. So here in the second, Prabhupada writes in Bhagavad Gita 7:20, it is said that persons who worship demigods have lost their intelligence. Kamais tais tair hrita gnana. They are much attracted to sense gratification and therefore they worship the demigods. So, and such persons, in fact, Grihamedis, it is said, if of course we have to be conscious of what does it mean. The Grihamedis who want to continue a prosperous material way of living generally worship the demigods or forefathers by offering pinda or respectful oblations. Such persons are bereft of Krishna consciousness and are not interested in devotional service of the Lord. Therefore, the Grahmadis or materialistic men say that they can worship any form of a demigod or worship of Supreme Lord, demigod as worship of Supreme Lord, especially among the Hindus. Prabhupada writes, those who are meat eaters prefer to worship the goddess Kali because it is prescribed that one can sacrifice a goat before that goddess. They maintain that whether one worships the goddess Kali or the Supreme Lord Vishnu or any demigod, the destination is same. This is first class rascaldom, and such people are misled. But they prefer this philosophy. Uh, in fact, Bhagavad Gita does not accept such rascaldom, and it's clearly stated that such methods are meant for persons who have lost their intelligence. The same judgment is confirmed here. The word kama mudha, meaning one who has lost his senses or is infatuated by the lust of attraction for sense gratification, is used. The worshippers of demigods are condemned both in Bhagavad Gita and in Srimad Bhagavatam. This is the conclusion of this purport. Hmm? And then, of course, what is he doing? Then such a person is worshipping, he is worshipping moon. Life on moon is said to last 10,000 years according to calculation of demigods. The demigods' calculation is in such a way that one day is equal to 6 months on this planet. So in that way, anyway, there is better. One can live longer if one is. Yeah, here we are trying so many things like anti-aging products, and or what do you call this? Products that give you long life. All these things are done, but the attached persons do not know that even if one goes to the highest planet Brahmaloka, destruction exists there also. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord says that one can even go to Brahmaloka, Brahma, but still he will find the pangs of birth and death, disease and old age. Only by approaching Lord's abode and reaching Vaikuntha one can be free from that. So, and in this fourth and or actually in this chapter, you can see there are two kinds of dissolutions or dissolutions that are mentioned. Two kinds of one dissolution takes place at the end of life of Brahma. This is complete dissolution. At that time, all the planetary systems, including the heavenly systems, are dissolved in water and enters into the body of Garbhodakashayi Vishnu, who lies in the Garbhodaka ocean on the bed of Sesha. Yeah, you may have seen, yeah, most commonly we have seen Vishnu who is lying on this Ananta Sesha, and of course we see also that the Lord is also appearing on the Shweta Dvipa. Yeah, and of course, I mean, anyway, yeah. So when who lies in the Garbhodaka in the other dissolution which occurs at the end of Brahma day, all the lower planetary systems are destroyed, which means the Kumaras, the Lord Brahma and associates, and who are residents of Brahma Loka, Sapta Rishis, Munis, all They are still there. That there is no dissolution at the end of day of Brahma. When Lord Brahma rises after his night, these lower planet systems are again created. The statement in Bhagavad Gita that persons who worship demigods have lost their intelligence is confirmed in this verse. These less intelligent persons do not know that even if they are promoted to the heavenly planets at the time of dissolution, they themselves, the demigods and all their planets will be annihilated. Hmm. So, those who are intelligent and are purified, are of purified consciousness, are completely satisfied in Krishna consciousness. This is what it is said. Freed from the modes of material nature, in fact, the first class example of this type of man is Arjuna. Arjuna was a Kshatriya and his occupational duty was to fight. Generally, kings fight to extend their kingdoms. But as far as Arjuna is concerned, he declined to fight for his own sense gratification. This is the position of a devotee. huh? And persons who work at at their prescribed duties, not for sense gratification, but for the gratification of the Lord, are called Nissanga. Sangha means association. Nissanga means it doesn't mean that one is free from association. No, Nissanga means one who is not under the influence of materialistic associations or groups or all these different kinds of societies. No, freed from influence of the modes of nature. Nyasta karmanaha indicates that the result of their activities are given to the Supreme Lord. Such persons appear to be acting on the platform of their respective duties, but such activities are not performed for personal sense gratification, rather, they are performed for the Supreme Person. Such devotees are called Prashantaha, which means completely satisfied. Shuddha Chetasa, with pure consciousness, they can attain that. Putting oneself in that position of eternal servitude to the Supreme Lord and working for for Him perpetually, one actually becomes completely satisfied. So, how to experience complete happiness is it. We may ask, hey, come on, I have not enjoyed complete happiness. I have not experienced ananda. I have not experienced bliss. How can I get it? Yeah, we have to come to this level. We have to come to this state. What is that? Putting oneself in the position of eternal servitorship to the Supreme Lord. We thought all these years, lifetimes, that it is material. If I am become a master, I will be happy. So many masters are there. Yeah, every boss has a boss, right? In the material world, we can see every boss has a boss, and every manager is managed by his manager. This we can see. This means that one is, even if he has become a manager, still he is a servant to either to his people who he is grooming, and also he is responsible under the manager whom he is working for. So as long as one works for his personal sense gratification, he will always be full of anxiety. That is the difference between ordinary consciousness and Krishna consciousness. And in fact, here, going forward, I said in the purport of 5 and in 6, it is said, by executing one's occupational duty, acting with detachment and without a sense of proprietorship or false ego, one is posted in one's constitutional position. That is our nature. How can we come to that nature? By executing our occupational duties. It's not by giving up, not by inaction. Krishna clearly says in Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna that sannyas is not just not doing anything and declaring that I am dead for the world. No, it's not that. It's actually coming to this position of understanding I am the servant of the Lord. Here, Nivritti Dharma Nirata means constantly engaged in executing religious activities for detachment. There are two kinds of religious performances. I think you may have heard this. One is called pravritti dharma. Dharma means duty. Pravritti dharma, which means religious activities performed by grahamedis for elevation to higher planets for economic prosperity. The final aim of this, of which is sense gratification. Ultimately, I am doing everything just like in our own, if we can see our own life example right now, what's happening. We are doing something so that we can improve our material condition, improve better. Yeah, maybe I was from a village, now I'll go to a town, from a town I'll go to a bigger town to city, and a city to metropole, metropole to cosmopole. You know, we are just thinking that by this gradual changing, we can improve our condition of enjoyment dutifully. Of course, we are not stealing, robbing, but we are working hard, we are earning hard, and with that hard-earned money, we are building. But ultimate goal is sense gratification. Every one of us who have come to this material world has a sense of overlordship. That this is called pravritti. But the opposite type of religious performance is called nivritti. Nivritti dharma says is to act for the supreme personality of Godhead. Engaged in devotional service in Krishna consciousness, one has no proprietorship claim, nor is one situated in the false egoism of thinking that he is God or the master. He always thinks himself the servant. That is the process of purifying consciousness. So, should we take a Nivritti Marga or Pravritti Marga? Yeah, as long as we are not able to come out of the clutches of this conditioning, we should follow the duties, occupational duties, so that we gradually come to the state. But of course, if one is already in that state, he doesn't have to go to Pravritti Marga and then take a Nivritti Marga. Hmm. Through the path of illumination, such liberated persons approach the complete personality of Godhead, who is the proprietor of the material and spiritual worlds, and is the supreme cause of their manifestation and dissolution. So this is the secret. We understand that the Lord is not just Lord of spiritual world, and He is also Lord for the material world. Sometimes now we may think, oh, there is a politician. For example, there is a hmm, left front or right front, or So we say, if I favor one, then I'm not going to get the benefit that the other is offering, isn't it? If I mm, if I support a party, for example, a political party, and the party wins, and then the party is going to support me, the other one will not. Why? Because these are two lords of two different parties and doing two different things. And no, it's not like that. The Lord is the Lord of material as well as spiritual world. It's not that okay, if I serve Krishna, then Maya will be dissatisfied. That is our what do you call sheer foolishness to think like that. Sometimes people now they think, oh, okay, I have to serve everyone. I have to serve materialistic people. I have to also serve spiritual people. Give some money here, give some money here. Otherwise, there is no existence. I have to survive. No, the material energy is who? Deva Maya, or we call as Mahamaya. Who is she? She is appointed and representative of the Supreme Lord, or it is the Lord's energy. Hmm. There are these many innumerable energies of the Lord. There is Antaranga Shakti, Bahiranga Shakti, Tatastha Shakti. And as Jivas, we are Tatastha Shakti, marginal energy. And there is Bahiranga Shakti, the Lord's energy, which is Bahiranga, which is manifesting in the material world. In fact, which means it is His energy. Through His energy, He is exercising a process through which we can transform, we can get purified, we can get rectified, transformed, such a way that we can come to Nivritti Marga. Huh. Persons who are worshippers of Hiranyagarbha, the plenary expansion of the Supreme Lord, do not directly approach the Supreme Lord in Vaikunta. They remain within this universe on Satya Loka or other higher planets until the end of life of Brahma. Then with Brahma, they are elevated to the spiritual kingdom. Hmm. The word Parasya Para Chintaka means those who are fully Krishna conscious. Such persons enter directly into the kingdom of God. We don't have to go and station ourselves somewhere until the next train comes and takes us to the next destination. No, we can get a direct ticket. Yeah, just get in and then we are just in the spiritual world. Such persons enter directly into in the kingdom of God, Vaikuntha planet, or if they are worshippers of plenary portions of Garbhodakashai Vishnu, they remain within this universe until its dissolution, and after that they enter. Yeah. So we need to see what do we want. And the yogis who become detached from the material world by practice of breathing exercise and control of mind reach the planet of Brahma, which is far, far away. After giving up their bodies, they enter into body of Lord Brahma. Therefore, When Brahma is liberated and goes to the spiritual world, such yogis can also enter the spiritual world. Such yogis or demigod worshippers are subjected to the chance of taking birth again when there is again creation. There is a risk. Therefore, Kapila Muni is saying, my dear mother, by devotional service, uh, take direct shelter of the Supreme Lord who is seated in everyone's heart. So Kapila Muni advised her to continue in this same way. He therefore addressed his mother as Bhamini to indicate that she was already thinking of the Lord as her son. Devahuti is advised by Kapila, Lord Kapila, to take directly to the devotional service because without that consciousness one cannot become liberated from the clutches of Maya. Uh, and then there is a whole list who get liberated. Yeah, they are liberated by their non-fruitive activities and attain the first incarnation of the Purusha. But at the time of creation, they come back in exactly the same form and positions they previously had. So that means that Brahma becomes liberated is known to everyone, but he cannot liberate his devotees. Demigods like Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva cannot give liberation to any living entity. Brahma is entrusted in creation, Vishnu maintains, and Rudra, Lord Shiva, destroys. The three of them are understood to be incarnations of the Supreme Lord in charge of three different material modes of nature, but none of them is independent of the Supreme Lord. Although Brahma reaches the Supreme Personality of Godhead as first Purusha incarnation, Mahavishnu, who is full with transcendental qualities, he cannot stay in the spiritual world. Anyway, I'm just reading bits and pieces of elaborate purport, which gives more context. So feel free to read that. And then persons who are too addicted to this material world execute their prescribed duties very nicely and with great faith. They daily perform all such prescribed duty with attachment to the fruitive results. So that is the business. And then such persons are called what? Tri Vargika. Varga means classification, category, Tri means three, because they are interested in three elevating processes. They are averse to the Supreme Lord. They are not interested. They are not interested in the Supreme Lord's pastimes, which are worth or hearing because of his transcendental prowess. So this is what is called Vargika means elevating process. Trivargika means three elevating process. Such materialistic persons are never attracted to the Lord. They are antagonistic towards Him. Uh, so, such persons are condemned by the supreme order of the Lord because they are averse to the nectar of the activities of the Lord. They are compared to stool eating hogs. Hmm? So, in fact, Prabhupada writes materialistic persons are very interested in reading such scriptures, all nonsensical, imaginary, and I usually, I mean, I don't know if recently I've said that I have come across, there was a guy who was coming in the tram where I was also there, and then this guy was reading very, very seriously a very thick book, and this book was having a ram and with an arrow, I think, if I'm not wrong. And then our stop came, and then he packed the book in the bag, and then yeah, he saw me, and when we were talking, and I said, "Wow, you are reading a very nice book, huh? Is it about Ram?" He said, "Yes, but yeah, I think it's written by some Patnaik or someone." And he said, "Yeah, this is a fantasy novel. The characters are about Lord Ram, but the story is fantasy. So some fictitious understanding. What does that do? People, when we really talk about Ram, they will just correlate with that fantasy novel that they have read. It's everyone is addicted to hearing the activities of another person, whether a politician or a rich man or an imaginary character whose activities are created in a novel. There are so many nonsensical literature, stories, and books of speculative philosophy. Materialistic persons are very interested in reading such literature, but when they are presented with genuine books of knowledge like Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Vishnu Puran, or other scriptures of the world, such as Bible and Quran, they are not interested. These persons are condemned by the Supreme Order as much as a hog is condemned. Hog is interested in eating stool. If the hog is offered some nice preparation made of condensed milk or ghee, he won't like it. He would prefer obnoxious, bad smelling stool which he finds very relishable. This is what uh, is the reality. Hmm. Such materialistic persons are allowed to go to the planet called Pitraloka by the southern course of sun, but they again come back to this planet and take birth in their own families, beginning again the same fruitive activity from birth to the end of life. So it is said, thus they go up and come down. This is the only business that's going on, going up, down, up, down. Those who are elevated to higher planets again come back to the same family for which they had too much attachment. They are born and the fruitive activities continue again until the end of life. There are different prescribed rituals from birth until end of life, and they are very much attached to such activities. What does that mean? Sanskaras. Yeah. So of course, sanskaras can improve one's focus on what he has to do, which is connected to the Lord. But yeah, he just misuses. No, this is an opportunity that I have to get out of this cycle. No, he just continues. I'll stop here at verse 20 and we'll continue from here later. Yeah, thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Yep. Any quick thoughts or questions? Of course, as I have not presented through all the purports in short time, encourage that please read. They are nice purports. Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, one need not go to read some novels to get some nice dopamine effect and or all these kind of highs. No, just reading Bhagavatam and especially elaborated purports of Prabhupada can bring us great joy, bliss, confidence, fearlessness, and all the other good qualities which qualify us to become good devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you very much for explaining the last chapter of Sankhya Yoga. Prabhuji, in chapter verse 10, it is mentioned that yogis who does all this breathing exercise and other
Hmm.
difficult yogic activities, so they reach to the Brahma's abode. So
Hmm.
who else reside at Brahma Lok other than Brahma?
His associates who are there. Yeah, he'll also has his own team, right?
Okay,
He has his people. It's not like okay, one full Europe and then there is only Brahma. Yeah, he will have also his residents, Brahma Loka residents.
okay,
Yeah. Yeah, there are so many who are doing immensely. They want to, if in the uh, Brahad Bhagavatamrita, in that, I think, is it that or Lagu Bhagavatamrita? One of this, yeah, we can see that the whole description, or there are two things. One is that Narada is going, and then we know how different planets who is residing. And then there is also Gopakumar who is going, and then there is also description what who are residing in Brahmaloka.
okay.
Yeah.
So all of them are
What
like
is
the same caliber, same potential with Brahma. Otherwise, they would not have stayed there.
not exactly, but yeah, facilitating. Yeah, it's not like that all are Brahmas there. It's not a house of Brahmas. It's that Brahma is there and his associates who can help him in his affairs. Yeah, reside there.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you, Puji.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Maybe the scientists, when they get purified, na, they may want to qualify to be there because
Yeah,
they have the
that
spirit of
will.
creation. Then they come to, hey, I know how to create. It's only I need to create something reasonably, religiously approved. Huh? And then they have this interest, the mode of goodness.
Yes, Puji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you for Prabhuji nice recitation explanation. Prabhuji, about those karmis or who are worshipping the demigods, but seemingly it looks like they are not getting any material. There are many in the world or in India. They are worshipping demigods, but they are not getting like so much riches and so on. So I don't understand that. Why they are worshipping?
Yeah, hope is always there, right? Hmm? There's always hope. There are multiple things. Yeah, when you're doing something, you're not sure whether you have done correctly, so you retry. Yeah, and or sometimes you do correct, but the circumstances are not favorable, so you try again. In that way, you keep trying until you really come to a point, yeah, where you attain success. Yeah, for example, yeah, last week on Sunday, Kavichandra Maharaj was mentioning about why how the materialistic people are trying until they get successful. Similarly, spiritual practitioners also they try to become successful, right? So in that process, he's Thomas Maharaj is giving example of Thomas Edison. He said, "I have tried so many. Yeah, it's not all these were failure. Every time, whatever he found, he noted so that yeah, there's also learning. So we may not be able to tell something is really a failure, yeah, because if he is able to learn from that, it still is it's doing its part, right? Hmm?
Yes, Prabhuji. But Prabhuji, here it is said that they never worship the Supreme Lord, but the demigods.
Yeah.
So they are, maybe it is in Kali Yuga, it is so that they are not getting the benefit of demigod worship, or
No, no, they are
because
getting the
majority
benefit,
of
but
them are mostly poor or
see,
not.
it is something like you're expecting eternal freedom, but you're not getting eternal freedom because you're not taking to the right process. You're getting something, it's not that you're not getting anything. So it is in fact obliged that the demigod should shower the blessings according to one's service. Yeah. So they are getting, of course, if they really stick to the right process, and that is there. But that is not what we really want. We think it is what I want. Hmm? Yeah,
Yes, Prabhuji.
ultimately we are thinking. See, the reason why we think at a on a you call specific way of saying, oh, if I get a job, I'll be happy. Let's give an example like that. Yeah, but what is the real reason for that? It is not job is what I want. We think that the job can give happiness, and happiness is the real motive. It is not job. If something else will give me happiness, why will I look for job? Hmm?
Yes,
Education, whatever. Hmm. So the demigods are giving such blessings. Yeah, sometimes, of course, people may say, "Hey, come on, it's because you worked hard, that's why you got it." No, it's in fact the blessings are there. Yeah, even not to talk only about the demigods, we can talk about the grahas, the planets. Even they, yeah. Did you do something accordingly because of which Surya has turned 8 degrees? No, right? It is that Surya has turned 8 degrees due to which you have an influence. You are not influencing the sun, but sun is influencing you.
yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, and we can see how so many things happened. Yeah, for example, I was reading some article where there was a astrologer who was mentioning, you know what, these things happened according to all these things because of which I with this air aircraft crashed or whatever. Yeah, yeah, it can be nailed down because these grahas are seeing at that moment in this direction, which is not auspicious. So many things are there. Yeah,
Yes, Prabhuji.
yeah.
But Prabhuji, in Kali Yuga, people even also don't know much demigod worship like previous yugas, or
See, At least we are talking not even about Kali Yuga. I'm telling, if we just see 50 years back, the worship was there, right? It was not that there were no devotees. Yeah, there was so much. As and when people start thinking, oh, I can live without God, and atheism is dominating, yeah, the Kali Yuga symptoms are expanding and everything, but it's not only Kali Yuga. We are reading in Bhagavatam so many places how other kings were not devotional, right? For example, next canto we will be reading about Uttanapada, hmm, and
Yes,
Priyavrata. We will read so many characters we will come across to understand that okay, it's not a problem of Kali Yuga only. Kali Yuga is predominated by this quarrel and hypocrisy. Because of that, because of all identification, all these things are even you can feel more and affects more. And again, when we are telling something is a yuga, what is it based on? Time, right? Yeah. And when you talk about time, how do you see? You see through astronomical calculations, isn't it? Astronomical means what? Demigods. Yeah, it is that the time is moving, based on that the planets are moving and all these things, the influences are affected.
yes, Prabhuji. So,
Yes.
Prabhuji, demigods, yeah, whatever, so material things one gets, or demigods are always involved, or
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Because you are worshipping with faith, and Krishna is saying, hey, yeah, you have faith in so and so demigod, and I am the one who is going to bless you. Though you are feeling that it is blessed by the Lord of whom you worship, in fact, that faith is also strengthened by me only to so and so demigod. Why? Because, yeah, just like Narad Muni, yeah, what happened when Kamsa was thinking, oh, no, 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 let me not kill the babies of Devaki, right? No, Narad Muni comes and he speeds up. How? He just say, hey, do you know who is the eighth son? How do you know it is this eighth son? He is the eighth son. It can be counted this way, that way, or other ways. Better don't take risk, right?
yes, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Prabhuji, the demigod worship, so Brahma is also not supreme lord, but worshippers of Brahma, they will also attain the same perfection as the Brahma will get at the
Yes.
end of
Yeah,
life.
yeah, that's it. Just like, yeah, if you go and approach mm, your local police authority, yeah, he can give only protection only in his jurisdiction, right? Hmm?
Yes, mm.
Yeah, if you say no, 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 I lost my iPhone in Ahmedabad. No, no, where did I lose? Ahmedabad. Yeah, he says go there and find. Yeah, if you can't ask in Hyderabad.
Yes, Prabhuji. So, Prabhuji, can one say that Brahma is the only demigod by worshipping whom one can go back to Godhead? Or
Uh, that's an interesting question. Eventually, one who comes to this platform of Hiranyagarbha, yeah, the worshipping, where Lord Brahma is absorbed in meditation, then if he is engaged completely in worship of the Lord in that form, then he is promoting himself to uh, kingdom of God. And when this is happening, and if we attain the shelter or the association of Brahma, then because of understanding from him that we worship Vishnu, then we also attain that. Otherwise, again, we have to go into the circle.
so
But your question, is it
he is
only?
like a guru who is will take with him to Lord.
Yeah, I mean, can be seen also that way. We can, because we see this Brahma Sampradaya, yeah, through which he is teaching how to attain perfection, and this is approved. That is one thing, and that's what I was about to tell. It's not only we can say through Brahma only it can happen. We can also see Lord Shiva coming as Sadashiva. What does he do? And as Rudra. So there is also these ways of worship through which one can attain him. And when one attains him, when Lord Shiva, what is he doing? He's always meditating on Vishnu, so his followers, strict followers, will also do the same, and they will also attain spiritual world. Hmm?
Guruji. Thank you, Guruji.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Okay, then we'll close here. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Panchakalpadarbhescha kripasindhabhyo cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaः. Grandharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Hare Krishna.